Carson's Corner is a black LGBTQ-owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises such as Dragon Ball, King of the Hill, Sailor Moon, and of course and most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at carsoncorner.com. Link will be down below.
Hello, everyone. Are you ready to be the one and see the best match of two VSNX films? I certainly am not, because I'm not that big on VSNX films, but this is the Rider Time Archive. So we're going to be discussing Kamen Rider Build Kamen Rider Build New World, Kamen Rider Cross Z. And yes, so VSNX. This is the first time we're actually covering a VSNX film on this entire channel. Not just on this show, but on the entire channel as a whole, because so far, the only movies for Kamen Rider that we've ever actually covered were Real Time, technically Phoenix and the Book of Ruination, and Shin Kamen Rider 2023. But we've never covered any of these summer films or VSNX films up until we started covering Kamen Rider Build, and we got Generations Final, we got Be the One, and now we're gonna do the two VSNX films, Kamen Rider Build New World, and the two segments are Cross Z and Grease. And Grease we're going to cover next week. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend before Valentine's Day. And what do you guys think of this movie if you had a chance to see it? Like, did you like it? Did you hate it? Were there things you would have rather changed? Let me know in the comments. So because this is the first time we're covering a VSNX film, let me go over what it actually is. So, of course, we have V Cinema films, which are typically direct-to-video movies, hence the V in V Cinema. And these would typically be supplementary films to the Kamen Rider franchise outside of summer films. Now, we've had V Cinemas in the 90s for Shin Kamen Rider, 1992, as well as Z2O and J, because they were direct-to-video, but they were not like proper summer films or anything, because this was when the show was on hiatus. We wouldn't really have that many V Cinema films up until maybe Kamen Rider Den-O, actually not even Kamen Rider Den-O. Up until Kamen Rider W, with W Returns, you got episode Eternal and episode Axel. And yeah, this became a way for Toei to continue to market off of popular seasons of Kamen Rider. Now, VSNX, on the other hand, is a different subject matter. It takes off from V Cinema, but what makes it different from V Cinema is that VSNX is not only direct-to-video, but they also have limited theatrical releases, which means that you could either watch it in theaters or you could buy a DVD or Blu-ray and watch it from home. You know, this is, if you really think about it, this is kind of like a precursor to what streaming services would eventually do during the great binging of 2020, where because most movie theaters would be shut down, they would release movies on streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max before it was called Max, and of course Disney Plus. Now, in some cases, like with Disney Plus, they would charge like $30 to have a 48-hour rental, and this is both good and bad because it really depends on how many people are watching from home per stream, because if you're by yourself watching a Disney Plus film for $30, it might seem a little expensive because you're used to having a movie ticket cost $20. But the thing is, if you have two or more people, then it starts to discount a little bit, because that means that because each person's $20. So if you have two people, that's $40 in terms of movie tickets, plus you want to get concessions. So it really depends on whether or not you're watching with someone else, or how often you plan on watching it within the next 48-hour period. So Visa Next is kind of like a precursor to that. Oh, and of course, when movie theaters reopened, you had the option of, like, for some movies where you could watch in theaters, or you could watch it on streaming service. But now it's like, but yeah, Visa Next was basically like that even before the great binging of 2020. So the first Visa Next, I think, was from Kamen Rider Drive, because while there were V cinemas for Kamen Rider Gaim, and I have them on Blu-ray right over there, I don't think they did have a limited theatrical screening, so those would be V cinemas. But yeah, so Visa Next for Kamen Rider Build New World, that means these are two movies, short films, if we're going to be honest. They would typically be released on separate dates, so you would watch one movie on a certain date after the TV show is over, and then about 2 weeks to 6 weeks later, you'd watch the other movie. That way they could keep generating hype for the same franchise, even though the TV run already ended. But with that in mind, these are for Cross Z and Greece. So we're talking about Cross Z this time around, and basically these two, as the name implies, Build New World takes place in the new world that was built at the end of Kamen Rider Build. If you guys haven't watched our discussion of the final 4 episodes of Kamen Rider Build, I suggest you pause right here, go back to watch that video in case you haven't caught up with our discussion of it, or try to figure out a way to legally watch those 4 episodes and then come back here. But yeah, so to spoil the plot of a season that came out 5 years ago, actually more than 5 years ago, this at the end of Kamen Rider Build, they created a wormhole using the Pandora's box in order to merge the reality where the Pandora's box was opened with another reality where it wasn't open. As a result, everyone is living a peaceful world where they have all lost their memories of anything having to do with Pandora's box, except for Sento and Banjo, because they were in a pocket dimension, so they technically don't belong. And there's 2 Banjos running around. One from the TV show's universe and one from our universe. And, honestly, going into this movie, I was kind of expecting the 2 Banjos to be interacting in some way, like maybe Chi-chan mistook our Banjo for her Banjo, and then we got like a whole we got a twin imposter type of thing going on. Turns out that's not really what this movie was about. I'm genuinely surprised. I knew that Evolt would be involved because anything involving Banjo would always involve Evolt, but Evolt's here, but we don't see the other Banjo anywhere in this film. So that was kind of weird. So to give you a quick rundown of this film, the Sento and Banjo are basically homeless. They're living inside a laboratory that they've constructed from scraps in a cave. And while Sento is trying to manufacture a script for his experiences into a 49-episode TV show, Banjo's selling a bunch of knick-knack inventions that Sento made so that they can make some kind of money for food. But, Banjo's not really producing anything. But for some reason, this one girl recognizes a spider-themed bottle that he was selling, and she's like, was there by chance a dragon version of this? Because I saw this guy in my dreams. And I'm like, oh boy, what's going on over here? Some mysterious thing? Is she regaining her memories of Banjo? And we've never seen her before, so what role would she have in Banjo's life? Meanwhile, the white panel starts to emanate. We see a blue slime hit Sento, and I'm thinking, oh no, it's another one of those. It's another blood. Yeah, Blood's the name of the aliens from from Kamen Rider build that the main villain Evolt is a member of. We saw 3 other Bloods in the movie Be the One. That movie was honestly not that great. Like, I wanted to like this movie because Build was such a great season, and I could keep going on about how great the season was. But yeah, no, the summer film Be the One was very lackluster comparison. Even compared to Generations Final, it just wasn't that great of a film. But now we have this guy showing up, and at first he copies Sento's body. But he's like, nah, this body isn't manly enough. So he copies the body of some dancer dude. So he's like walking around like he's a freaking pillarman. I swear, he's like swaying his body back and forth like he's wearing nothing but a loincloth. And he's like, yeah. And of course, he's kicking Banjo's butt, and he even steals the build driver. So he, as Rabid Tank, is kicking Banjo's butt, and then Banjo gets rescued by. He's back. He's back. He's freaking back.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
As long as a single nucleus stays alive, I can regenerate over and over. Okay, shout outs to Mega64. You guys had a hilarious summary of the Cell games, and I will never live that down. Yeah, when they defeated Evolt, a small piece of him entered Banjo's body again, and then he went dormant. And then when the world was rewritten, his body was dormant. His DNA was dormant. But somehow, because the Pandora's box was reactivated, somehow, because it was reactivated, that means Bloodstark is back. Oh, yeah, and also the girl from earlier, whose name, Yui. Yui reveals that, in the other world, because now everyone remembers her past lives. So if you really think about it, it's like watching Stone Ocean in reverse. And then everyone watching Stone Ocean in regular direction. But yeah, so turns out during the Sato invasion, she was one of many people that was under duress, and she saw Banjo fighting a bunch of the androids, and she cried for help, but he did not save her. At first, like, we're all thinking, maybe he just didn't notice. Maybe he didn't hear her. Or maybe he was so distracted fighting those androids that he just did not have a chance to help you. And then, when you got kidnapped by those other androids to be experimented on, like, he did try to come back for you, but you were already gone, so you assumed you probably were able to take care of it yourself. Nope, Banjo reveals, yeah, actually, I deliberately ignored you. What? You deliberately ignored her. You admitted to it. Okay. So, you're probably wondering, what's the deal with this new Blood member? Like, who's this guy? Like, he's just like Evolt, but he's blue. What's his deal? Well, turns out he's my brother. The what? He's your brother?
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no! Oh, hell
Oh, hell no.
Now, I will say this. It is actually kind of interesting having to humor the idea of Banjo and Evolt working together. But again, considering how many times Evolt has stabbed people in the back, are you going to be in any way surprised if he tries to stab you in the back? I mean, like, you're basically dealing with Frieza. You're dealing with freaking Frieza on this one. Of course he's going to stab you in the back and give it the chance. Yet somehow in this film, he does not. So, yeah. So the three of them, Banjo, Yui, and Evolt, they sneak into what would otherwise be the Faust laboratory in the original world that they came from. And it is revealed that, your parents did not die in a car crash. They were killed by Lord Voldemort in an alleyway by Robert Chill. Yeah, no, like you know where this is going. If you've ever seen Harry Potter or Batman, you know where this is going. You thought a car killed your parents, but it was actually Evil. So turns out every bad thing that has ever happened to Banjo is orchestrated by Evil in order to raise his hazard level. And Banjo just figured this out now?
What the hell is that?
Like, seriously, like he already admitted to a lot of that. Like, he orchestrated the false accusations, the imprisonment, like all the physical labor, killing, like experimenting on his girlfriend, turning his girlfriend into a smash, sicking her onto him. Like we already knew that this was Evil's doing. And we already knew it was to raise his hazard level. All he would ever do throughout the show is talk about, your hazard level went up. I'm excited. Can't wait to see it get even higher. It's like, and only just now you figured out that his whole life, every bad thing to happen to him, including his parents dying. You just found out that Evil did it. He stabbed you in the back since infancy. And that did not surprise me. Not just because it's his habit to stab people in the back, but because I actually paid attention to the show. How did Banjo not pay attention to the show? But there's not much that we can do about Kilgore. I don't remember his name. Because, like, why should I even care about remembering his name? He shows up. Oh, and both Splash Dragon. Really? He's using the Splash Driver? Okay, that's weird. But yeah, so Evil, or should I say Bloodstark, and Banjo try to fight him off. While Kilgore, that's what I'm gonna call him, because he has the word kill in his name. I don't remember his actual name. I'm not even gonna bother looking it up, but Kilgore uses that spider thingy that Sento invented to become Kamen Rider Kilgore. Yes, that's right. At this point, they're just using the characters' names as the Kamen Rider names. And yes, he is a spider. You know what that means. Semaru Shoka Jigoku no Gundan Warara Nerao Kuroi Kage Sekai no Heiwa wo Mamoru Tame. Okay, like you guys know what's up. So they lose, and Evil gets his butt kicked hard. Like really hard. So much so that he needs to go inside of Banjo for life support. So everyone had regained their memories, and Sento's like, I'm gonna have to sit this one out, but we're gonna need Evil's help on this one. So we have the obligatory final confrontation scene. The three riders, because Sento's not here, try to fight him off. They're struggling, but it's revealed, they got help from Evil. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing these two together like that, yeah, that's kind of weird for me. That's kind of weird. And of course, this whole time, Yui just keeps complaining. Why would Banjo team up with Evil? He knows he's using him. He's only helping him for self-preservation. He's gonna stab you in the back the moment he can. I'm like, oh my god, is Yui the only person who understands the true nature of Evil from Jump? Is Yui gonna be the first person to not get her back stabbed by Evil? Oh my god! But no, it basically Misa's. This is like, see, Banjo's a musclehead. He's cute and adorable and endearing. Like, he wants to help people out. He had a selfish streak, but he learned from his lessons and he's trying to do better. That's why he's teaming up with Evil, because he can take the burden. He'll take the full responsibility because Kilgore needs to be stopped for humanity, for 9/11, for America. Yeah, that's a Boondocks reference. That's a Boondocks reference right there. And of course, he has this epic moment where he turns into what is basically a repaint of Evil to Phase 2. Yeah, one thing you're going to notice throughout Kamen Rider Vs and X films is the focus character gets a new rider form, and from the neck down, it's usually just a repaint of another rider form, either their own or some other riders. And here, yeah, it's basically Banjo's using Evil's Phase 2 suit, but it's repainted to have like a galaxy motif. I like the design here even better than the actual Phase 2. I just don't care for the suit itself as a whole because, again, it's just a repaint. It's just a repaint. If you want to have all the ninjas and the Lin Kuei from Mortal Kombat, you go ahead and do it. If you want the Starscream Force, go ahead. Get Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Ramjet, Desert Storm, Acid Rain, Dirge. I think that's all of them. But yeah, I'm not too big on this one. Again, I do prefer this color scheme. I just don't care for the fact that it's literally just a reused suit. And of course, we have a repainted Genius Full bottle for you to buy on Bandai Premium. And I think it's currently available on Toku Collectibles. Shout out to Toku Collectibles. And yes, he does his rider kick. And when he does his rider kick, we see sort of like a fusion ha sort of situation where it's like, just to emphasize the fact that when Galaxy Banjo uses his rider kick, it's Banjo and Evil killing him together. And it's like I guess you could say the reason why Banjo is able to defeat you is because of the fact that he's human. Ciao. And of course, they defeat Kilgore. I don't miss him. I really don't. And then it's like watching Gohan and Frieza team up in the Tournament of Power. It's like, for fan service, it looks good, but some breaths are not being held. That's all I'm gonna say on the matter. And yeah, so they have one last chat with Evil. He's like, oh no, I'll come back to destroy you guys later, but I need to go back to full power. So I'm going to leave this planet, go on a trip, do some soul searching, enter a hyperbolic time chamber, and who knows, maybe in 2028, during the U.S. Olympics, I might show up as Evil Black. No, that name sounds really stupid. Forget I said that. But I will be back inside my hyperbolic time chamber. And then it is revealed that Yui and Banjo are weirdly close. So much so that Gentoka says, "Wait, are the two of you?" And then he rips open his jacket, revealing a shirt that says "Best Match." Oh, ain't that cute? And then Yui kisses him on the cheek, and I'm like, what? Kissing on Kamen Rider? What? You almost never see on-screen kissing on Kamen Rider. At most, maybe the Amazon Prime series, like Amazon's or Black Sun, but you never see kissing on the actual series. Even in Kiva, when two characters who I will not spoil got married, their kiss is shown off screen. What? What? That happened? Oh yeah, they have a cute moment where they're selling stuff, but this time kids actually want to buy their stuff. And of course, he's like, I am not Banjo the Musclehead. I am Banjo the Gallon Protein King. And he does make that cute face, and that's the last we'll see of Banjo. I'm just kidding. He might still show up in the next movie. But yeah, that's it for this movie. I have very mixed feelings about this movie. First, the easy thing out of the way. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as Be the One. It is actually a better movie. And unlike Be the One, I do feel like there's a little bit more weight involved into this one. Not even though there isn't a giant black hole like there was in the previous movie, but the fact that there is someone more powerful than evil altogether. But also keep in mind, this is a world where, the Skywall incident never happened. Like, we're expecting a world of peace, and yet there it isn't. It's the same old. I'm not too happy that Evil's back because we know what to expect from him, but I do find the idea of having him or teaming up with the good guys out of desperation to be an interesting concept. But more importantly, like I think it's best that they actually explore the fact that, yeah, Banjo's half human, half blood, but it's the human half that helps him win. That's one thing that I really appreciate about Gohan in Dragon Ball Z, that Gohan is more powerful than Goku because he's human. And it's Gohan that defeats Cell. And when the Buu Saga was being promoted, I was happy with the idea of Gohan leading his own team of Z fighters into a new generation of heroes. Because you'd only have Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, and the two kids. But then they had to ruin it by bringing Goku back and having him finish off the enemy. Here, like it's a Banjo love story, and I do find it interesting because like it's not like he got back with Chi-chan, who did die in the original story. It's sort of like here he finally moved on from her, and he found new love, which is good. But again, but with that in mind, you'd think that maybe they would illustrate some hangups a little bit more. I would say the singular downside is really the fact that, one, the movie is only an hour long, so it just feels like an extended episode. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, we're just reusing old materials and just repainting it so that Bandai Premium could sell more merchandise. This movie, 8 out of 10. It's not bad. I'd watch it again at some point. Just not anytime soon, like, say, Paradise Lost or Godspeed Love, which are Kamen Rider movies I've seen a million times, let's be honest. And for good reason. Now, again, my experience with VSNX films isn't that robust. I don't really go out on my way to watch VSNX films because usually they come out months to years after their seasons are over. So by the time when I am able to get the DVDs, it's like there's like no point to revisit them. And there's like so many specials and movies in Kamen Rider during that next Heisei era and during the Reiwa era. It's like it's hard to keep track of everything. So I just stick to watching the TV shows. But with that said, there it is. Saw the movie. Saw this movie. We're going to watch Grease next week. That's it. And if you're wondering whether this week or next week will be like a Valentine-themed episode, yeah, no. They're both going to be Valentine-themed because they both involve romance. So it's perfectly timed. But next week, we will be discussing Grease, and at the end, we will be spinning to decide what will be the next Kamen Rider series that we'll be discussing on the Rider Time Archive. So, let me know in the comments what you guys thought. Banjo is so adorable. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. He is precious to two worlds. Oh, absolutely. Like, you can't get rid of Banjo that easily. He's so sweet. Psycho Orange says, what's up? What's up, Psycho Orange? How are you doing? And that's it for the comments. I get it. You know, it's pre-Valentine's. Everyone wants to go out tonight. I totally get it. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. We do Kamen Rider. We do Ultraman Tiga on Mondays. Typically, we do Kamen Rider, Gotchard, and King Oger on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but we're moving them both. Oh, hold on, let me make sure. Oh yeah, so Gotchard will be moved to Tuesday this week, so that you guys can enjoy Valentine's Day. But Thursday, King Oger, same time as always. And then the following weekend, the 17th or the 18th, we're going to do Kamen Rider Build New World Grease, and then we'll decide what the next series is going to be. Now, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do movie reviews, video game news, etc. We just released our interview from last year's Simi Valley Touring Comic Fest of Doug Erholtz, who's famous for playing TK from Digimon 02, Kisuke Urahara and Nagina Ichimaru from Bleach, as well as Asuma from Naruto, and Jean-Pierre Polnareff from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So check out that interview. And we'll be releasing the vlog for this year's Pasadena Comic-Con soon. We also finished Chrome Month last month, so be sure to check that out as well. Now, our next convention appearance will be in Simi Valley Touring Comic Fest on the 25th of February at the Grand Vista Hotel. So if you happen to be in the area or you want to drive or fly over to the Simi Valley Grand Vista Hotel, be sure to do so. Say hi to us, say hi to Scott, say hi to everyone. It's going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh themed convention this year. So if you want to meet some of the voice actors from Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, or maybe find some rare cards like the Blue Eyes White Dragon, that's the place to go to. And with all that said, guys, if you want to find my personal content, you can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, update your emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and make sure you treat them to that special something this Wednesday, because it's Valentine's week. But if you're single, don't be sad. You know, it's better to share a drink called loneliness than to be drinking alone. Do it responsibly, though. You know, just spend time with friends. Spend time on yourself. You know, do some homework. Read some books. Hit the gym. Do whatever that makes you happy, even if you aren't even if you don't have a date to go out with. Heck, invite a bunch of friends and do like a Lonely Hearts Club party. You know, just some ideas. But until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.